actually funny and getting
The need to
beyond.
crush. The need to crush.
And I think getting back to our subject, that's happened in some degree with this filmmaker, because he started with the Hard Eight, just going like, here's how my voice sounds. Here's how I look at things. Here's how I film stuff. Here's how I use music and cutting. And and what he had underneath that grew and grew over time was the ability to have actors live with a really sad, just a tragic sadness, and to see the value in actors that weren't exactly kicking ass in other areas yet. And then Boogie Nights was his, like, I'm in Hollywood and I got Marky Mark and I got Burt Reynolds and I'm going to make this John Holmes movie, and the whole second half is going to be so dark and violent, and it's going to be a mess, man. And the first half of it is just beautiful to me. This is just my feeling. Yeah. Second half, I just didn't care about, but I knew I was watching a guy who's extremely special and learning. And then Magnolia was like a serious piece of work. Still using some of the young actors and still being a little distracted, I think, by Hollywood and popular culture. But it's a fascinating movie. But he only got richer and richer and richer after that. Inherent Vice I just went right by me. I didn't get it. But then this March he's been making a fucking The Master, There Will Be Blood, Phantom Thread. He's on a fucking sick streak. I can't wait to see what he does next.
Well, it's kind of what you said.
Just because each one of these movies has amazing performances that really are.
The thing that's interesting about him too is I've met Paul, and he's very unassuming, and he's a little bit inhibited or goofy a little. I would never in a trillion years guess that he made these movies. It's nuts. It's like in Amadeus when he's like wants to see could he see it on his face? You know, one of the first scenes in Amadeus when he knows that Mozart he loves his work and he wants to see if he can see him, and it's this fucking kid who's under a table trying to squeeze a girl's ass, and he's like, that's who God gave this to? This is the one. You know, when I met Paul, I was like, this is the guy. Just because he was just like, hey, what's up? He's just a young looking guy. He looks like like he's a showrunner at a sitcom. It's sort of the same kid because he's an LA guy. Also, LA sounds a certain way to my ear. But Jesus Christ, usually I think he writes beyond his own intellect. That's almost impossible. Like he makes characters that are smarter than him. How the fuck do you do that? I mean, remember that movie? What the fuck? John Singleton's movie about college, school.
Higher Learning.
Higher Learning.
I've told you about this, Joe, before. What's his name? Lawrence Fishburne plays a college professor with a pipe, and he's supposed to be a genius. John Singleton's not a genius, and he's writing a genius. It's impossible to do. Because he's sitting there going, life is a game, and you must move your pieces so that you win. And you go, what? Because he's not that guy. You can't. The one thing a writer can't do is write a person more intelligent than themselves. It's just impossible. It doesn't.
That's why I write.
Jokes are easy. That's why. But Paul Thomas Anderson is just some LA kid, and he's writing fucking, ancient, brilliant, strange human characters.
It's kind of like